Welcome back, everybody, to the Words from the Nerds podcast. It's your boy Aiden, joined by my two wonderful favorite co-hosts in the entire world, Ben and Charlie. My boys, we got a little bit of a chill episode today. We got a bit of a chill episode today. If you want to bounce around, time codes are in the bottom. We're touching on some box office updates because we are living through some of the best box office ages ever. The one year that we decide to lock in and focus on it,
We
do a
picked
draft
such a good
over it.
year.
We picked an amazing year. It has been so healthy. So we're going to talk about the box office a little bit. We will touch on Disclosure Day. Me and Ben went and saw The Furious, so we will give our thoughts on that. And we might just do some chatting. Because, we might have some things pop up. We got some Batman news that's been coming out and whatnot. So we might find some time to chit chat a little bit. I know these boys love going 2 hours over. So, we'll always find a reason to stretch that. Without further ado, I'm going to kick us off with going into some of these comments that we got. If you want to drop any comments, whether that's on the audio, you can drop a comment on any audio listening platform, Spotify, Apple, Google, any of those wonderful platforms. There is a little link there that says send us a text message. You can send us a text message if you don't want to hop over to a different user interface to drop a comment, or you can drop one on YouTube as most people have been doing. Two familiar names, two friends of the show, two best friends of the show, Memish and Brandon. So I will go through these in whatever order I want. So Memish kicks us off and says, "These hot takes were definitely hot. Oh my." Which our last episode, we all came with two hot takes. As you can see, we are all still together doing a podcast, so it didn't break anything up too bad, even though
Charlie was
there
pushing
was
it.
Sweat and red faces. Oh my gosh, I was
pushing
re-listening.
it.
Dude, Star Wars has
crazy.
never been a good franchise.
Yeah, that's a
yes, sir.
take. All right. Anyway, well,
It's a hot take. It's a hot take.
You can go watch that episode if you want. It came out about a week ago. So Memish said that those hot takes were definitely hot. I don't blame him. About a week ago.
Holy
Brandon
cow,
comes
bro.
in.
Who am I doing a podcast with right now?
Comment. And this is actually interesting. We will have a lot of insight to this later, but he says, "I'm just commenting this for future discussion. I'm hoping Disclosure Day just breaks even. I'll see that as a win since it was the very last pick, but my dream is that it's a breakout and makes closer to 500-600 mil." We'll talk about that a little bit later. So folks, keep that comment in mind. Brandon also is in our box office draft, which we'll touch a little bit on later. And then Memish hits us with a best podcast ever, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, back up in here. Memish actually just produced a freaking movie and it won an award. I saw. So my boy is fantastic. We gotta get him on to talk about that. I keep forgetting.
I give him a hashtag best producer ever.
That's I
give back to the community.
Well, I thought it was great because I commented something and he said I wouldn't be here if it weren't for meeting y'all. And that made me feel kind of good. I'm like, that's a lot of credit, Memish. Come on, man.
Yeah, he's doing more than we are.
I know, right? Memish says, "I got a crazy hot take. This is one that I did not read. I glanced over this one, Ben, when we were talking earlier. I got a crazy hot take. I will forever say this. X-Men over the Avengers in every aspect. It's a hill I've lived on and forever will die on. Days of Future Past is better than Endgame 2. Whoa, shit.
All right.
Whoa,
yeah, I was actually so with you. With you,
Mama. I was like, because I'm right there. I think the X-Men, you could tell, like, way better. You have a lot more of a playground there than the Avengers, but whoa, mama. I think Days of Future Past is a great movie. I actually love Days of Future Past better than
I think it's
actually
better than Endgame.
I can't speak on because I haven't seen all the X-Men movies. We've been over this plenty of times, so I can't speak fully on it from a movie perspective. But I think the edge that I would give to the X-Men is like the Avengers feel like a team that comes together to defeat a necessary evil. X-Men feels more like a family. Like there's more of a rooted, grounded connection between them. So from that perspective, I can understand where the take's coming from.
Yeah.
I will be trying to watch X-Men 97 in the next 2 weeks. I will try, especially now that I'm not watching Attack on Titan.
What do you mean try, brother? You
Especially
got
now-
2 weeks, dog. There is no try. There's just do.
I
There's
will
do, or
do
you're
it.
not participating
you get up
in the
outta here.
conversation.
I will do it, especially now that I'm not watching Attack on Titan.
Oh, don't worry. You'll be watching that soon.
Yeah, I thought
Brother,
I've been continuing weeks ago.
I've been not grinding. I've been posting. I posted another YouTube video.
Yeah,
so
no,
like,
you
yeah,
posted two.
I saw
you
it.
see
I
my
posted 2
channel,
YouTube
no,
videos.
Big ups, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to push.
No, yeah,
You weren't fighting back, bro. Come on, you weren't fighting back. Console wars.
No.
I'm trying to bring that back. I'm trying to bring console wars back.
I'm just trying to give simple responses, baby, just so people know I'm active. You know.
That's a great hot take, Mimish. I will thumbs up that. And then Mimish says, I watched this. I'm gonna save this other one for last. It's so funny. I watched Disclosure Day, and I will be real, guys. I don't know if these types of films are for me, but it was a good film. Not amazing. I'd give it like a 3 or 3.5. We will touch on Disclosure Day later, but I'm glad we got Mimish's insight. And then, all right, roll the violins out, baby. Mimish says, I got some bad news, guys. Well, it's going to be great news for Charlie, but Doctor Who is officially canceled.
What? Really?
He said
Holy
RIP
shit.
1963 to 2025. The Christmas special got canceled and the screenwriters and directors all left. Now they're waiting for someone to buy it. If it returns, which is not likely, it will return and Charlie will watch it one day. I'll even watch Chuck.
Oh shit! That's not a fair trade-off, though. That's not a fair trade-off, dude. What? How many seasons, bro? No, man.
Yeah,
There's 5 seasons of Chuck, bro. Not a fair trade-off.
How many seasons of Doctor Who are there? Is there like
That's what
10?
I'm saying.
Too many.
There's no. He just said from 1963 to 20. There's
he said like the whole series.
Yeah.
That's why I said too many.
Yeah, no way, bro. No way.
Dude, that
that sucks that it got canceled though. Like as much shit as I talk on it.
Come on.
No, I would have loved for the show to get like the proper ending that it wanted. Like if they did a final season and they knew it was a final season, you know.
It just is that show ever really canceled? Like there's gonna be
Surely
more
it
Doctor
comes
Who.
back. Yeah.
I don't know. Mimish knows more than me.
I wouldn't be sitting there devastated that it's quote unquote canceled.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Mimish would be the one to ask. Mimish would be the one that that knows. So, oh gosh, what a funny batch of comments. Well, thank you everybody for everyone that commented. As I said, you could also leave your comment down below if you have any takes that you want us to react to, if you disagree, or if you love something that we have mentioned on the episode, please feel free to leave it down below. Transitioning into our next bit of conversation, because Brandon reminded me so gloriously that this next project has come out, and we have a gosh dang box office number for it. So Disclosure Day has come out. It was Brandon's 4th pick, and for the sake of concise podcasting, we won't go through all of our picks all over again, but all you need to know is that next week Toy Story comes out, and that is Charlie's hit pick, and this week we got Disclosure Day, which was Brandon's last pick of our summer draft. So real quick, the way that this
to just storm into the lead.
Yeah, the way that this has the way that this is structured for folks that are new here or whatnot. We drafted at the beginning of the year, and you draft for 3 seasons. So you draft for winter, which is the beginning of the year. You draft for the summer, and you draft for fall. You get a hit pick. Me, Brandon, Ben, and Charlie, all of us got a hit pick, and then we all got a bomb pick. So it's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to pick this movie because I know it's going to do horrible, and y'all are all going to take negative hits off of it. That's essentially what a bomb pick was. we drafted our winter season. Those episodes are out, and we have drafted our summer. So our summer is in full swing. We have 2 hit picks that are a part of the summer season that are coming out right now as of in a couple days. I was going to say as we speak, but that is not true. As for in here in a couple days with Charlie's pick, and then a month from now will be mine. So Brandon's Disclosure Day has come out after 1 weekend in theaters, and then maybe let me see if they updated this. 1 weekend plus a Monday in theaters. We are sitting at we'll round up minus 200 mil for Disclosure Day right now. I know Brandon talked a little bit about his thoughts, and we have also talked a little bit of our thoughts on Disclosure Day and the great word of mouth that it was getting. So I want to talk a little bit about that and how that has potentially affected the box office, because someone please correct me. Those early critic scores were insanely high for what we have seen with this movie.
Dude, I think everyone who saw it like really, really early when those initial reactions came out, I think they put something in that theater. That's all I'm gonna say. Because ever since then, it's all been downhill from critics and from the audience. I don't think anybody expected things to turn out this way based on those early reactions. We went from Spielberg's best movie in 20 years to like,
Yeah.
I don't know how we fell off the cliff that fast. It's actually I don't know what happened. I didn't see a single bad review for the movie from its initial wave of reactions.
Yep. I don't think any of us really did, because man, the way that they were talking about this movie, and the way because we have this movie in 2 drafts, our Rotten Tomatoes and whatnot, and the way we were even taking all of those reviews in was like, oh man, we are in for some hurt. Me and Charlie, and then me, Charlie, and Ben for the box office. But that opening is the biggest for any original Steven Spielberg movie, I think is what was being thrown around. The biggest for any original movie in a while, I think I saw, opening weekend wise. And I mean, yeah, it made about 100 mil. I mean, worldwide, 93 mil worldwide. But where do I want someone to throw something out, because I know Brandon's pre-prediction was, I think this will break even, but I want it to get to 500, 600 mil if the word of mouth is good, which we were talking, he thinks it'll break even. What do we think that this will pan out as people on the outside looking into his list? Where do we think that this movie finishes?
I think casual audiences seem to want to see this movie. I don't know why, just because it's about aliens maybe. But that friend that I was on the phone with before we started, he's actually watching it in 20 minutes. He bought his tickets. He's about to go see it. And he doesn't really go to the movies very much. So, and I got a couple coworkers that want to go see it. Yeah. And they're also kind of casuals. And so I don't know. I could see this movie breaking even for sure. Yeah. I don't think it'll. I don't think it's getting above a 50 mil profit. You ask me though.
Yeah, I think it'll die around 300. I might even shoot a little bit lower.
Yeah. I was gonna say 4, to be honest, just because
400. Oh wow!
Not profit, but 400 gross.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I just feel like it's a strong enough opening weekend, and when I comparing it to like Mando and Grogu, and like I feel like this will have slightly better legs, and Mando and Grogu is gonna die out at like 330 to 350. Like I could see it just being like a leg above that, just with word of mouth. Just it seems to be a little bit better. Then again, you could say, well, this just had the pure like Star Wars fandom who were gonna go see it regardless. So
yeah,
funnily enough,
faith in it.
Last thing I'll say, funnily enough, one of the coworkers I was talking about, his whole family was, because they want to have like a family movie day. They were going to go see this movie, but then they saw the reviews and they actually turned to go watch Obsession. So,
Dude.
So
here's the thing. I don't think the word of mouth has been good at all. Like, Brandon will tell you, we were with our family. I'll just leave it at that. We were with our family. Like they were as hyped up as anybody could be for this movie. I'm talking about like on their alien documentary kick, everything like that. All three, when we got out of the movie, were like, that's 2.5 hours I will literally never get back in my life. I'm not recommending that to anybody. Like they hated it. And we even like peeked in on the discussion a little bit, and I just looked at Brandon and I started grinning. I was like, because what was said, this was the conversation out of like the three people. Oh yeah, that Disclosure Day. My buddy called me and said, "Oh, you don't have to watch it. All the plot was in the trailers there. You're not missing out on anything." Other person, yeah, no, I didn't like it at all. Other person, yeah, I literally would not recommend that movie to anyone. And I just turn around and I'm just staring at Brandon, and he's like, I know, I could have told you that was gonna happen. I kind of figured. So I thought that was pretty funny that in real time we got to see word of mouth just kill the movie. All of the recommendations were just thrown out the window.
Actually,
I think the reviews are going to put a damper on this. Yeah,
I'm going to revert a little bit between Toy Story 5 and Supergirl. I think this movie will die a little. No, I'm saying with other movies coming
I was like,
out.
why are you? I was like, wait, where are you going? I thought you said your graph was this is going to fall anywhere between Supergirl and Toy Story.
No. With those movies coming out, I just think there's already too many movies out right now that like Charlie just said, people are going to hear that this is and they're going to go see something that's getting a little bit better word of mouth, or just that's being talked about more on social media. Like Backrooms is getting like really good word of mouth and reviews.
Yeah.
Obviously, like it's starting to die out as well. But is there people who like will show up to the theater and have an option of Disclosure Day, which is getting pretty negative word of mouth, even in comparison to its scores, which are like high 70s or whatever it is right now, which I know we're not going to dive into too much right now, but even that seems like almost higher than it should be based on purely like the discussion that I've seen around the movie. So when people are presented with so many options, I mean, you still have the Michael movie showing, and then you have Backrooms and Obsession. If you're more of a horror fan, you're about to have Toy Story 5, Supergirl, a couple weeks away from the Odyssey. I do think there will be a question of like, why would you choose to see this movie when there's so many other options, and also other options that are getting like very, very high praise? So I'm going to revert back and say that it's closer to like a 300 total gross, 3 to 350.
I think we're all right there. 3 to 350.
4 is a little ambitious.
Yeah.
I think if it breaks even, he should be happy with that result at all.
100%.
He knew he was taking a risk when he
it was his last pick. So
that's a decent that's a decent risk. I mean, I'd be willing to take that risk if I could live in that moment of all of those reviews coming out being like, I'm on top of the world. This is gonna win me. Like I remember having conversations with him and he was like, dude, this just changed my entire opinion of the summer. If this movie is as good as people are saying, this could have a ridiculous profit. And then the budget came out super low, and it was so.
And then the actual scores came out, and I went and I bought some rope. Like that's just what happened.
And we'll touch on that next week, right? Because X-Men 97, Toy Story, and all that stuff will be out. Okay,
so much.
As for now, the other pieces I want to touch on for us, this is one of those bomb picks I was talking about, guys. He-Man.
Crap, dude.
He-Man has bombed very hard. It is official. He-Man has bombed big time. So I watched this movie. We never really talked about it because we've been trying to cut, a lot of the talking out. I did watch He-Man and I actually enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was a pretty decent movie. Some of the coolest like action sequences I've ever seen in like a big quote unquote blockbuster-esque movie. So I think Travis Knight did the best that he could do with this. It was a fine movie, but it has bombed a big time. So it had a budget of 200 mil. The break even on this bad boy, whenever you factor in marketing, all of that fun stuff, was a 500 mil break even, and this thing can't even get to 100. It's literally crawling with an arrow through its foot to the finish line of 100 mil, which means we're all losing 137 million dollars.
It's got to be one of the worst bomb pick, like no, great bomb pick, sorry, but one of like the most devastating bomb picks of the year. Like
right now, it absolutely is.
The one that came to mind, as soon as you said something, was Desert Warrior. But
that one, yes.
Which honestly, I think this will finish. I think when it's all said and done, after Masters of the Universe finishes, no, I don't know. I think Masters will still be worse.
So, how does this happen? By the way, can we just ask that question?
That is crazy.
I didn't even hear about this movie. Did it actually come out and it made less than the budget of Obsession? Like what? Actually, how did this happen?
It was like funded by a Saudi prince or something. So he just backed up the Brinks truck.
Money at it.
Yeah,
released it in 5 theaters, called it a day. Like what?
Yeah, look at that. I mean, look at that hype number. It's a hype number 1. That I think it was the worst. But I saw the guy that does, and oh my god, look at that. I saw the guy that handles the website, and he was like, it's not even the worst bomb pick of the year so far. But I think it is. Maybe he's thinking that there's no way Masters of the Universe grabs another like 50 mil though when it's all said and done, right?
No way.
So
dude, we would all be so much happier if we weren't doing the times 2.5.
Oh, dude. I actually wonder what that would look like. How would the league shake out?
Speaking of or Obsession's budget, that hasn't changed on the website, has it? It's still $1 million.
It won't. Yes, it's still $1 million.
Yeah.
Just sit there and
flip.
I'm pretty sure that's just one of those things that like a report latches onto it, and now they're just going to say 750 because like Backrooms also was reported to be closer to like 9 million.
Yeah.
So I think it's just the way it is. I don't know.
Is there anything else we want to touch on in terms of the draft? How are we feeling about our
Should
stands?
we talk about
How
Power
are
Ballad?
we feeling about? I don't know. That's up to Ben. Hey, I also watched that. Really good movie, man. Really good. Four stars. I thought it was so endearing.
It's in such a bad season. It is. I don't know. It was
had
doomed
that
to
come
fail
out
from the start.
Had that come out in like late February. Yeah. I mean, because I'm like Project Hail Mary would have, but I think it's a good enough movie that I think it could have broke even for you, honestly, if it just wasn't surrounded by.
It has no room to do anything. I should have looked more at the schedule and just seen where everything falls. Because instead of doing Power Ballad, I think I could have gotten Insidious and still gotten Evil Dead.
Yeah,
and Power Ballad was kind of like my kind of cheeky one because of the director. It already had like amazing early reviews and whatnot. So I just it was my throw it out there on a whim, and who knows what's going to happen. But
yeah. Also, the budget's kind of crazy when after watching the movie. It's kind of insane that this is a $10 million budget. Like you watch Backrooms and then you watch Power Ballad. This should be a $2 million budget, 100%.
I mean,
which like still doesn't help you.
And Paul Rudd, like I don't know.
That's probably. I mean, honestly, that's probably it. They probably just both wanted each. $5 million. I was to say whole budget.
Yeah. I think Evil Dead will do well though, because I think we haven't had a new horror movie in a couple weeks. And so I feel like it will kind of hit right in the sweet spot of like horror fans for the summer wanting to go and see that movie. Because then I don't think there's anything for like a couple weeks after that. Yeah, and I'm feeling pretty good about this. I can't lie.
Yeah, I think Supergirl.
It's not going to be a huge bomb. It was.
I think it'd be like 400. I think 400.
You think 4?
I think four. If
I think
it's
four
okay,
is
here. How about
ambitious.
this?
What are the
I think
projections right now?
400. I think 400 if it's good. I think 350 if it's just all right. Projections are matching up with Thunderbolts. That's what I'm seeing a lot of people saying. It's
Yeah.
going to open the same as Thunderbolts, and
But then
it just
Thunderbolts had
depends
great
on
word of mouth and made 450 or something, 430.
Yeah. Which that's damn. It had $180 million budget. That's insane. Oh, I can actually pull up Thunderbolts here. So yeah, I think if Supergirl is really good, it'll fall around 400 just because I think they're going to start marketing soups in there a whole lot more.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try to get some butts in the seat with that. 382.
And that was with
yeah,
good word
It
of
didn't even
mouth.
hit profit. I didn't even
Jeez,
know
dude.
that.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. I don't know. I think
People were saying
if
the best Marvel movie in years, and it. Wow.
Yeah.
well, you also I think there's a little, and I'm not saying that you're saying this directly, but I think there's a little bit of a difference between a Supergirl movie coming out and a Thunderbolts movie, especially with the respected where the franchises are currently at.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I think that's undeniable. I mean, yeah, Supergirl is just a bigger, more
it's in a more
name.
healthier, and it's in a healthier position.
Supergirl has had a film before that's come out, so like,
Yeah. I think the highest, and this is what I was factoring in when I told you I was crunching numbers. I think the highest that we're going to look at, me, Charlie, and Brandon, I was splitting up about 50 mil for each of us and 100 mil for each of us from Masters of the Universe. So minus 150, Charlie, for me and you with everything. But I think Supergirl, 50, that's 150 mil. Minus what is its break even? 437. Yeah, so just under 300 at the lowest, or at the biggest loss for us.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I don't. I mean, which I know you don't think it's going to be a fantastic bomb pick. I know you said you're feeling good about it, and I think that's you're fine to feel that way, but I don't. When it's all said and done, if it hits that 400 mil, like we're not looking at that much of a dent for.
Well,
for
I
us.
guess I'm more so feeling good about it in the sense that a month ago the budget was reported to be 100 million with a 250 break.
Sure,
even.
yeah,
that's
budget-
like guaranteed.
Oh yeah, that's easy profit. Yeah.
So with a just over 400 million, that's at least giving me something. So
sure,
it was still a bad bomb pick, and I pulled the trigger way too early. Obviously, it was like our first year doing it, and I realized now that like you should never pick your bomb pick early. Like you should pick your seasonal pick. Which, to be fair, like my seasonal picks didn't end up being bad. I got The Mummy as my last pick or whatever. But
what a crazy pick.
Yeah, but I think we're all gonna play next year a little differently. We're gonna learn a lot and whatnot. So it's whatever.
I want to self glaze a little bit. I'm pretty happy with my bomb pick.
Yeah, you got a good bomb pick.
I'm pretty happy.
And when did you pick it? You picked it in the last round?
It was my last pick. Gotcha. Last one that I want to comment on, unless y'all are itching to comment on something else. I just think this will be better discussion than anything else. Moana. We've kind of been floating around talking about this movie. This I feel like is the biggest wild card out of everything on our list. And just how Moana is going to pan out. And the reason why I say now is because word of mouth is starting to pick up a little bit. They're starting to show the trailers, but behind not Disclosure Day. What did I see recently in theaters? Crap, I'm blanking. But
Powerbound.
It wasn't. No, it was something in
Cosmic
IMAX.
Circus.
No, I didn't watch
Cosmic Circus.
Cosmic Circus, yeah.
Whatever that
Cosmic Circus, bro.
Whatever that thing is.
Let me see. Masters of the Universe.
Masters
of the Universe.
Grogu?
And then Mando and Grogu. Those were the two movies for sure. And you could hear a lot of audible groans. You can hear a lot of what are they doing? Like literally in the theater, you could hear that. And just talking to people, there's a lot more people that me and Brandon told me he was talking to some people that we know, and they were like, yeah, we have tickets, opening night for Toy Story 5. And Brandon was like, well, what about Moana, we literally just use our vices. Like this is just like all is on our mind. And so Brandon's like, what about Moana? Like, are y'all planning to see Moana? They were like, they're making a Moana movie, a live action Moana. They're making one. And Brandon's like, oh, same people that have tickets opening night for Toy Story. So I think this movie is going to be very like this is my most anticipated movie in terms of our box office draft this year.
It will make money. I'm very confident on that.
Yeah.
I'm fine if it breaks even, truthfully.
Yeah. I think it might have been.
Really?
It might have been.
I don't know. Toy Story is going to carry me. I think Toy Story is going to carry me so hard that I think I'm fine. I'm fine with Moana breaking even and that being the story.
I guess I'm living in my bubble of like numbers that I've broken down and like what I was showing y'all before the episode started. Even those where I was like on board with the Toy Story stuff, and I even gave you an extra $400 million profit on Moana because I was just being conservative. Like, let's say Moana makes 900 mil on a 500 mil break even.
That's all right. Obsession's making up for that gap.
That's what I'm saying. Because like you're at 430 right now. If Toy Story plays out the way I think, which is a $1.2 billion profit, right? 500 mil break even, 1.7 bill gross. That's 1.6 billion that you walk out of the summer with before Moana. You add $200 million profit to Moana, which I even think still is pushing it. You're at what, 1.7, 1.8.
Watch Toy Story's budget just be
1.8.
even lower than you think it is. I don't
If
think that's the case.
If it is, I will call it. I will bow out of this fight and just draft for fun.
It's got to
Like,
be
I'm
at
not
least
even
200
kidding.
mil. There's
I agree.
No
I agree.
chance.
I'm just saying what if. It's actually weird. I mean, I guess it's Monday. It's the first day of the week technically. So Sunday is the first day, but first day of the work week. So the budget will probably come out within the next couple of days. But
I'm so excited.
Yeah,
but yeah,
Moana's for a bit still.
Really?
I would guess so. Like until they get like official reporting, because like all that's. I mean, I don't know how people figure all that out exactly, but I know some of it has to do with like Disney themselves will report that for like tax credit purposes and whatever else goes on in the financial world for stuff like this. So I feel like there's a lot of budgets that are just going to be best guess estimates or based on what some random director or producer says or whatever.
Yeah. As for Moana, it's not looking good for as far as people's reception to the live action Moana-ism of it all. Like I was just at dinner with my family, with Cassidy's family and her older brother, because we were just talking about the movies. We were talking about how we're gonna go see Odyssey while we're all on this trip in Florida, and I brought up the live action Moana. I can't remember why I brought it up. Oh, because we were talking about how we go to the theater and we're not gonna I'm probably not even gonna go watch it. Like I don't care. But then he's like, yeah, that live action Moana. No, like I'm not vibing with that. yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I feel like I have to go watch it because I watched The Little Mermaid and I watched Snow White. I didn't watch Lilo and Stitch, which is like the one that people actually enjoy.
Yeah, I know.
But it would
almost
almost feel disingenuous to not go see it only because I'm gonna give you another $15 to your box office draft. It's like
Nice.
it's fine.
That's $15 too much in my opinion.
They did, to be fair, they did listen to some criticism, and the newest trailers actually are looking a little bit better because the first trailers from a color grading perspective looked very dull compared to the animated movie, and it just got a lot of hate. Dwayne Johnson as Maui still looks really whack, but they've at least like saturated the hell out of the movie for the footage they've been showing since then.
Really cool poster that they have, though, I will say. On the box office thing. It's a really nice poster.
Yeah.
Well, that's enough box office talk from us. We are.
Oh, last thing, Michael's hitting a Billy, bro. Michael's hitting a Billy.
Yep. Yeah, Michael's hitting a Billy.
Congrats, little bro. Congrats.
Thank you, bro.
You need it. You need it.
I need
that's
it.
it.
You hear this?
That's
guy,
it.
I'm literally.
That's
I'm
literally
40 mil behind this boy. He's sweating. He's sweating right now.
I'm so scared. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so scared. transitioning over because I think that we're going to have a lot of good discussion. And we've been talking about Disclosure Day. That's what kicked off our box office. We have all watched Disclosure Day. We are all ready to give our rating for it and talk about this movie in all of its glory, right? So, Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg's latest movie. Our review in 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We're all about. I think we're all on the same.
Yeah.
I do want to get star ratings out of everyone first before we kick this off. I'm at 3
3.5.
stars.
I'm at 3. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're all right there. I was at
3.5, and
the more I thought.
I was
dropped.
I was so I'm pissed off. I loved, and we don't have to jump here immediately, but I just got to say the final 20 minutes, I was loving what was happening.
Yes.
And then the movie just ends.
Minus I want to say not spoiling, but minus that news anchor girl. I was like, dude, stop
Dude,
what
people,
she's doing. I didn't
love her.
What? I was like,
I thought she was cooking.
I thought it was over the top.
Really? I thought she was cooking.
I actually
right
agree
there.
with Charlie here. I read a
Wow,
Letterboxd review
really?
and also saw somebody talk about this, and they literally said we've got an Oscar-worthy performance by Emily Blunt, only rivaled by that CNN anchor. And I'm like, what are we talking about?
That's crazy. I don't think she was bad. It was just over the top. It was a bit too much. But anyway, let's talk about
why not? Wait, real quick. I want to ask, why not give that moment to Emily Blunt? Why not? She's been cooking all movie.
Also, a great question.
She's been cooking all movie. She's out here chefing up. Why not give that moment to her?
I think they didn't need to give I think they should give the moment to the people, which they did intermittently. Yeah. But I just think you take the news anchor out of it completely, and it has a larger effect for what it's going for. But I was the final 20 minutes, I was loving it. Finally felt like I was locked in at the culmination of everything. And then the movie just ends. I needed 10, 15 more minutes after that. And maybe you cut some stuff out earlier or whatever, because the movie already feels a little bit long. But when it just ended, I was like, I don't know how to feel. I'm so confused on how to feel, because when it started to get really, really interesting, it's just over.
They thought they were cooking. They thought they were cooking so hard. He's like, we're gonna have it end on listen and then cut to black. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this shit is garbage. What are you talking about?
I was actually so annoyed. This did not
hit the way you thought it would. This was, gosh, that was so dumb. That was so annoying to me. I'm like, it does not land the way that I think they wanted it to. The emotion and the effect that they wanted this to cause and weigh on you. Now they did all of that during the footage, that stuff right there is great. It's amazing. They just didn't get the mic drop ending I think they were looking for, and that left a weird taste in my mouth.
It's just ridiculous, because it made my score go up. The last 20 minutes made me go up. Wow. To a 3.5.
That was my half star, and then just right before we gave our reviews, I took it away. I'm like, I got to put the rest over it, and so I took it away. But that was my half star.
I think it was good. I did enjoy the scene as well, but I also just didn't feel like the juice was worth the squeeze up to that point. I think it was just.
That'll be a reference.
I just think it was good, and I was having a good time with it, but then. Also, of course, the end, but just I don't know if maybe speaking to what Ben just mentioned, I needed more of the world's reaction to it, because I feel like there's this theme of the world and their larger reaction to it, and that's even a point of contention in the movie, and that's not something that's hung upon in that moment, even so much to the point where what's the point of this World War III side plot that I literally they mention it and I forget that it's happening until they mention it again. And so
they could have done a better job. I think a lot of it is to contrast the aliens and what Disclosure Day will bring. And I was talking to Brandon a lot. about this movie because we double featured this and Furious, but we had like 2 hours in between. And I've seen reviews, and obviously the central theme is empathy and you know how we would respond to this situation, right? Something as big as aliens and government hiding it for the sake of the human race and what they think will be good. And so I think the World War III subplot is there to kind of contrast, like, hey, we literally stopped World War III in the middle of Disclosure Day because of the weight of the situation. And
Not
you know,
portrayed
countries
well
go
at
into
all.
war. It isn't. No. And that's what I was going to end with, was that it is not portrayed well at all.
And I don't think that should have been in there at all. I think we should have fast tracked everything that happened in the movie to about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then the final hour is a continuation of the ending, because it's just a really abrupt ending. And then also actually seeing the ramifications of the effect that something like that has on the world, because that is something that is like our antagonist, his main motivation is, you have no clue what humans will do if they see this information. You have no clue how they're going to react to this. And so like that's never fully realized or like explained or seen, because like if there truly is something there where like, you know, that could be a compelling antagonist if he can say that, but then also show it, where we as an audience can go, yeah, maybe like full disclosure isn't like the best idea. Maybe there's a middle ground or whatever it may be, but that's never explored. And so our antagonist just seems like an antagonist. Like when he, you know, towards the end there, it's like, okay, yeah, he just was a bad guy the whole time. And I would rather they explore the actual ramifications of what that looks like, to kind of like, that would give him more humanity in a way, if like actually he had good motives. It could just flesh things out better. So that's how I think they should restructure the whole movie, condense what we got to an hour and a half, another hour to actually like see the stuff that the movie was teeing up.
Well, and every single fucking character I think in this movie, aside from Emily Blunt, is so bland. Man.
Oh my gosh.
And it's
Wyatt Russell's character. He's so.
Did you guys know he was in this movie?
No, not at all. But he's also just typecasted as the shitty boyfriend. Did he not? And I want someone to fact check me on this. Did he not have this exact same role in a Black Mirror episode? Like, is this not just copy and paste?
I forgot he was in Black Mirror.
Wyatt Russell as the shitty boyfriend. Like,
he plays a pretty similar character in the Monarch show as well. I mean, he's also a soldier in that show, so he has a little more to do, but his personality is pretty much the same.
Well, and then Josh O'Connor's character, like I feel like they just needed somebody to stand next to Emily Blunt in terms of like, oh, there's two of them, we need two, and which I don't know why. I don't know what that really changes for the movie if it's not just Emily Blunt and Coleman Domingo trying to hunt her down. But even Coleman Domingo, he does amazing with what he's given, but it's not a lot. He's literally just the guys, come in here. I got a plan for y'all. Y'all got to come in here. And that's it. Like, he has a great monologue when he's talking to Mustache Twirly Villain. But that's about it, man. Like, and it's there. It's there, and it just needs to be dug through a little bit. Send a dog out there to dig through the fence. But everybody else, like, is just the dude. Oh my God, the biggest pain in my fucking ass, dude. And I've grown to hate this more after leaving the theater. The evil mustache twirly dude's sidekick, who is literally just bad for bad sake. He doesn't have any kind of standout quality to his character. Up until the end, where he just yells at the dude for just sitting there. Mind you, he's been chasing them for 2 fucking hours of this goddamn cat and mouse movie that's like not even what the shit was like fucking marketed as, which I'm not saying it needs to be marketed as that, but like, goddamn, I didn't know I was going to walk into a fucking cat and mouse chase for a whole fucking 2 hours. The most boring fucking movie theater experience. But like, he just sits there and cusses him out at the end and leaves. And I'm like, dude, what are we doing, man? Like
we didn't even get to see what he saw when Emily Blunt's character like flashed they're like the most important person to each person at that air base. Like we didn't even see who he saw. Like we don't know anything about this guy other than he's just for some reason so dedicated to the cause.
This is not disclosure day. This is fucking convenience day. The day where everything goes everybody's way for the entire fucking movie. It pisses me off. Shit, you're telling me she has a power to just get out of any tough situation? Cool. Then why did we just spend this entire time leading up to, Josh O'Connor's going to get caught? Oh, no, he's with her now. Literally every single thing is going to go their way. They're completely fine. Like, I
also,
do
for
not
me,
worry about stakes.
CinemaSins thing, and light spoiler, but like we saw that guy can control people, right? And he controlled that one girl multiple times. So like when they find Josh O'Connor's character and he doesn't have the device that they're looking for, well, where the fuck could he have put it? Like let me check the other girl that I was just controlling. Like maybe, like as an idea. Let me just pop into her mind real quick and see what she's got. Like how do we not think of that? I don't know. Because then, like, if we find that thing with her, then the third act can't happen. The third, like, it just can't happen.
Yeah,
a little convenience.
It's convenience day, dude. That's this whole movie. And I saw someone else bring up, like, in the beginning of the movie where he's holding the device pointed towards the guy. And then they just never show how that could be used in that situation. So what's the point of it? Like, what is the point of him holding it as a weapon and scaring the dude? It's like we never see it be used in that kind of way.
Speaking of the beginning, I actually want to like I did not like the beginning. I think like I get the idea of being thrown into the middle of a story for
piecing it
just
along as you go.
Yeah, and then just so you just feel like there's never like a slow pace, like, oh, we got to get through this beat and that and then that beat, but also you still kind of feel like that in this as well. It's just now I'm just annoyed because I don't have information that I feel like I should have to properly enjoy. Because like the whole time he's pointing the damn thing as you're talking about. Well, I'm like I want to know what that thing can do. I have no like there's no stakes in this situation to me. Like I don't know.
I still don't know. I think it can do anything at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, Emily Blunt's power is just like what she got. I mean, some of her powers are just inherent and don't come from the device, which her ability to transform into, like, if I saw Emily Blunt and all of a sudden she turned into Charlie, like, I'm not backing off. I'm stepping forward,
dude. Know? Yeah, I'm fucking making out with her, bro. I'm like,
exactly, bro. If it's Emily Blunt or Charlie, like, I don't care. But yeah, it's just the other powers of the device because it's used so differently. Like, it's used as an invisibility cloak. It's used as a power source. Yep. It's used as would you call it just like a telepathic, I guess, mind control?
Yeah,
not really. It's not. It's more
Cerebro.
like projection. Yeah. That kind of,
cerebro.
Yeah. So it kind of just does whatever. And the explanation is it's aliens. It's just aliens. There's 3 devices. It's just aliens. And all this information got leaked and is in one guy's backpack.
Yeah. And I want to. I guess we're getting into more spoiler stuff now. So I guess spoiler alert if you guys care. We've talked. Yeah, we have talked a lot about stuff. But so I guess, but just for deeper storyline side stuff, the religious subplot to this, like that, just did not matter. One, I thought the argumentation for it was just stupid. I didn't like that. Her character was just dumb.
You're saying the nun?
Not the the one who used to be a nun. I forget her name.
Okay.
Who's the girlfriend.
I thought you were saying like the nun talking about like in Genesis how we're God's greatest creation on earth.
Yeah, I didn't like. No. I think the argument that the girlfriend makes to Josh O'Connor's character early on, like. People would who are like heavily yoked in faith, they would just like lose their minds and the world would like I mean, I don't think that you can't one, he already explained that, like, you can't make that choice for people. Like, that's not something that, like, you can't just take that away. But then two, like why does your idea of religion is that predicated on you being God's special person, God's special people? Like I don't know. I just feel like if you used to be a nun, like I feel like you would just use that, you would understand that to some degree. But I guess she also she left the faith for a reason, left the church for a reason. So maybe that could be an explanation for that. But I don't know. Like it's getting to the nun's explanation to her for it. I just didn't also understand why she couldn't have understood that herself. If you truly were as yoked in the faith as you say you were, and you read the Bible and you like, I don't know. I just don't know how that is something that even needed to be discussed in this movie, let alone have it be so tacked on carelessly. Because like it didn't matter. It was a nothing storyline.
Yeah, I think it either should have been delved into more with like the larger implications that Disclosure Day has on the world, or it should have just been dropped entirely. Because I mean, as somebody like who has grown up in Christianity, like that is something that's debated. Like there's some people who will read
Sure.
the Bible and think that like specifically, you know, God created us as humans and Jesus was sent down for us as humans. And so it's like, was that the case for all other species in the universe? Did they have their own version of a God and of Jesus and whatever? Like there is still a lot of like biblical questions around it. But I don't think it should have been like just kind of a throwaway dialogue scene between a couple of characters. And then really the only thing that we see is like the group of nuns reacting to this information. Which she basically in the conversation already confirmed that like, oh yeah, there's other life in the universe. Yeah. I thought she knew something. I thought she was in on it the way that she was talking. But it should have been.
That's my thing. Yeah, it's like if you're gonna tackle it,
just nothing.
Yeah, if you're gonna tackle it, then tackle it. Like actually dive into it. Like make it a point of conversation. But it seems like the way they treated it was that it was the girlfriend character. It was like her last ditch. Like, do I really want to go through with helping my boyfriend on this? Let me ask the nun. Which, like, I don't get. Why would you go so far as to like, here, handcuff me, tie me up. You can't trust me anymore. Like, you're going through all these steps to ensure that he can keep going forward. But then you're at the 10-yard line. You're in the red zone, and you're deciding like, maybe I don't want to do this. Let me ask my mommy real quick. Like, what are we talking about? I don't know. That's
Dude,
just dumb.
And then I can't believe he got rid of all of the information on everything except for the thing that he wrote on. Like, are we serious? That's the one thing that you didn't properly discard. Literally, like the first thing that got checked when control was taken over from her.
Convenience.
And it was just right there.
Yeah, holy convenience day, dude. Gosh, it just feels so lazy up until the third act, dude. It just feels so lazy.
Not Steven Spielberg's best movie in 20 years. Holy crap.
Yeah, what was all of this about, dude?
This felt like some Flash shit, bro. Like
yes,
like people coming out of the Flash and saying it's the best.
Yes.
Like,
I'm very, very upset. And it's also kind of confusing, and I've seen some people express that as well. Because like you leave the movie and it's like there's so many good ideas. There is a standout performance from Emily Blunt, like that's undeniable. She's amazing. There's some beautiful shots and cinematography. But then like for some reason there's just people who are like specifically glazing certain parts of the movie. Like somebody talked about there being a stellar car chase scene in this movie. It's like, okay, there's that one cool shot that was in the trailer. Otherwise, it's like pretty much just a standard car chase. Like, it wasn't anything spectacular that stood out. And it's still a lot of unanswered questions of how we got here in the first place and how things operate. And when you have all of those things combined, that really big, shocking reveal that's supposed to be just like the pinnacle edge of your seat moment at the end of it just doesn't hit as hard as it's supposed to. And it's kind of confusing of how that ended up being the case. I saw people saying like the last like hour I was on the edge of my seat, not knowing where things were going. It felt like everything was going to end at any point. You never know where the story's going to go. I didn't really feel that up until we just like were at the point of the reveal. And then I was like, all right, I can lock in and see where they take this. That is where they were taking it, and that's it. And that's confusing.
Yeah. Just an overall, just, bummer, man. I don't know what I was expecting from this movie, but I feel like I was definitely expecting or hoping for a lot more than what was given to us, which is sad. It's unfortunate, I wish I could feel more satiated from this, but I cannot. That I cannot feel. That's Disclosure Day. Be on the lookout, guys, if y'all are listening this far, for our upcoming mid-year ranking to see where this movie falls potentially. Maybe even see if this falls on one of our topics. I know last year we tried for the first time a nice little most disappointing, most surprising, things like that. Let's see where this falls, if that falls into any of those categories. Something else that I want to bring up, I've been thinking about this and I haven't told y'all yet. Another category I want to add in there, this might be corny, whatever. Your favorite movie theater moment from the year, like something that happened in a movie this year that you saw or felt, or something that has just resonated with you and has stuck with you throughout the year. So I want y'all to think on that. But yeah, guys, if y'all want to see where this movie has fallen in our rankings, or if it falls into any of those subjects, keep an eye out for that episode coming up here soon.
Dude, July is about to be the busiest month of all time.
Yeah.
Like,
we're
Odyssey,
gonna be put to work.
Spiderman, mid-year, box office, winter draft. It's
Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Oh
Comic-Con
my gosh,
stuff.
yes. That Doomsday trailer is coming. It has to be coming. Charlie, you can stick around for this one. I don't think we'll be like super long. But also if time is allotted for it, we can talk about like some of the Doomsday stuff or
I
some
think Charlie
Batman
should
stuff.
stay for this one, to be honest.
I think he should too.
And I
The
am
Furious.
I'm
The Furious.
so scared. Right
What
now.
are you scared of?
I am terrified, Aiden. Aiden. Aiden, I need you by yourself to give your reaction to this movie, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Oh, my reaction. Let me update this. My reaction to The Furious. Well, because first off, Ben mentioned this before last episode. He said, go watch The Furious. He recommended it, and he kind of called his shot, because then everyone just started on Twitter, and discussion was just going crazy about how awesome this movie was. I think it's like 97, 96, maybe higher, or 97, 95. Everyone started talking about this movie. So then Brandon texted me, was like, hey, would you be down tomorrow at like 9 to go watch The Furious? And I was like, dude, yeah, I don't have anything to do. So I know Ben is watching it. Give us something to talk about. 2026 movie I can put on my list. So I went and watched it. My review, my reaction of The Furious in 3, 2, 1. That shit was ass. I'm sorry, that shit was ass.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my gosh. Oh, fuck.
Yo, you had every right to be worried, man.
Oh, shit. Aiden, I'm gonna be honest. You're the first person I've seen that is not like this movie.
Yeah, man. I think I have Mando and Grogu over this. I'm
Yo.
Oh man. Ben telling me that
shit.
he was nervous, it just makes me feel even more bad. Oh yeah, man. This did not hit.
Was it action?
I'm sorry,
cool?
this did not
Are
hit.
you fucking kidding me?
The action, here's the thing. Action was cool, and then it goes on, and then it goes on, and I kid you not, there's a fight scene. Oh, way worse than RRR. But
Okay.
there's a
Action-wise?
fight scene. Yeah, way worse than RRR. Actually,
What do we mean worse than RRR? That movie is great.
Yeah. RRR is
that's what I'm- that's what-
fantastic.
Yeah, I was just
This
trying to
is
give
way
a
worse
barometer.
than
Yeah.
RRR.
Dude, I gotta
But
get this blanket off. I'm
There's
sweating.
there's a fight scene between a couple people. I won't, just in case Charlie wants to watch it. Whatever. There's a fight scene that goes on for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Which
Just
one? At the
nonstop.
end?
Towards the end.
Are
Nonstop.
you actually kidding me right now?
It goes on
Aiden.
for so long. How long is that fight scene?
No. I'm not disagreeing with you here. But are you actually serious?
Dude, no, here's my thing. And I don't know, because Brandon challenged me with this question. He said, because I was like, I don't know, I guess I'm just not a big action guy. Like the stuff was cool. It was like there were some cool scenes. The stuff that they do like this sloppy fighting where they're like falling and like doing the splits almost, and it looks like sloppy and tired, and it hits. It's so good. But I told Brandon, I was like, I guess I'm just not that much of an action guy, because some of this action, like, it's cool, but it doesn't like have any staying power with me. It's just like, hey, this is a cool fight scene, and then it keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And I'm like, okay, man, this is getting so old. Like, this is getting so long-winded. And he was like, well, then why do you like John Wick? Like, he was challenging me. He's like, well, then why do you like John Wick? Because he's like, yeah, the plot's very like straightforward in this. Like, this happens, we got to get it, and then boom, that's it, right? I'm trying to be super vague for Charlie here. And he's like, well, why do you like John Wick? Because the John Wick movies, I feel like, are the same plot wise. You know, there's not a lot of plot there, but there's a lot of cool action. And I was like, I don't know. And I think maybe it's world building, maybe it's gun fu, maybe it's, you know, the way that the John Wick movies, they use the set pieces around them. And maybe I just like Keanu Reeves more, you know, maybe I just like his motives more. Where this one, it's like the main character, the dad, I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is cool. Like, we got our premise out there, and it just felt like a nothing burger to me, honestly. It just felt like a huge nothing burger. It's like, oh yeah, my daughter's kidnapped, I got to go save her, and that's it. Like, that's just what happens. And there's cool action along the way, but sometimes that action can last for 10, 15 minutes, and it gets to a point where it's like, this is fine, you know. There were moments where I was like, oh, that was cool, and then I'll go like another minute or 2 minutes just like sitting there watching it. Oh, okay, I like that. Another minute, 2 minutes. Okay, they're still just going at it. Like, what's going on? And so yeah, dude, I was very bored watching this movie. I know that's gonna be triggering, but I was so bored.
Oh man.
Ben, what is your rating? What did you think of the movie? What did you rate it coming out?
Dude, I should have. I thought I set expectations very clear when I brought it up last week. This is similar to a movie like the Raid movies. Very simple premise. You're there for the action.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're expecting that you wouldn't be disappointed in this movie, but maybe that's just not your thing, and that's whatever.
Yeah.
I think this has the best hand-to-hand choreographed fight scenes in any movie I have ever seen ever.
Wow.
Ever. Obviously, it's not gun fu. Like, that's a little different. Like, and superheroes have different actions and whatever. But purely hand-to-hand choreographed, well-shot fight scenes, I think this has the top-notch best I have ever seen in my entire life. Ever. And that's not like, I don't think that's a crazy thing to say, because if you asked me what it was beforehand, I probably would have referenced the Raid movies. And I think this is a step up from those in terms of action. I think those have a bit more of a story, but action-wise, I think this is a level above. You brought up like the kind of sloppy fighting style. I loved it. I've never seen a movie that has used like body weight and momentum as well as
Yeah.
this movie used it. Like when people get hit and they're moving in certain directions, that informs the way that they react and that the way that they counter and fight back and whatever. And even just like, even in that very, very opening scene when you kind of have like people that are getting stacked on top of one another and like the little slide move to drop down between everybody,
yeah.
like all of that is like so cool, so sick. And for me personally, you would think that like, oh, you get tired of that when that happens for an hour and a half. I'll be honest, the last fight scene that was 20 minutes long increased my rating of the movie, because at first, like right before that is like where you kind of seem like story-wise you're basically like wrapped up. It felt like it could be the end of the movie. But I'm kind of sitting there going like, I think we have like 30 more minutes of the film, and then they kind of tee up what's gonna happen. And I'm like, okay, they really gotta sell me here. And they did, not only like with the 2v2, but then the 2v2v1, like the different dynamic of how all of that played out. And I am genuinely beyond so impressed at how they were able to choreograph a fight scene that lasts for 20 minutes where it continues to do new and different things, and you see cool stuff that you haven't before, and it all feels unique. And like I've said before, that if I ever got into the film industry, that like doing stunts and that side of things and choreography would be the side of things that I would want to be involved in, because I think that stuff is just so sick. And I am baffled at like just the beyond creativity, how much practice and time it would have taken to do a sequence like that. And that's true for multiple things throughout this movie. Is the story super straightforward? It is super straightforward, but I'm there for the action, and that delivered on beyond the highest level that I would have expected from the movie. So for me, I loved this movie. It is in my top 5 for the year so far. I could see it staying in the top 10. This is a movie that is just so my movie that I loved just sitting there and watching it. Like, I'm good just sitting in the action, and keep giving me another excuse to watch the next action scene. And they kept on doing that. So for me, this is my kind of movie. So I guess we're just on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I needed a simple premise and then execute on it at the highest level. And that's what I got. And it doesn't have the same world building that's fleshed out compared to like a John Wick. But I would say that like some of the character work starts to like tiptoe in that area very briefly. Like this guy that's on, I can't point, the bottom left of our screen, the big guy.
Hulk. Yeah.
yeah. Whatever his name is. Like he had one of those kind of like unique John Wick-esque personalities where like he's kind of he's not as mentally smart, but he's very big and strong, but he's like strangely athletic as well. Like that's like a, you know, John Wick Chapter 4 feels like a bit of a video game of a movie, and you have these different like players and characters within it, which is like a really cool way to flesh out the world. And that is like the closest that this movie had to like, oh, this is kind of a very like distinct individual person with their own motives and fighting style and whatever. And obviously they don't lean into it too much outside of that, but just what a blast. I had a very unique theater experience. I told you guys about it a little bit. It was me and then a couple who was probably 65 to 70 years old. When I first walked in the theater room and I saw that they were sitting over there, I thought to myself, they either walked into the wrong theater or they bought the wrong ticket and they don't know what's happening. But then some trailers started to play, and there's some red band trailers for some horror movies and some trailers that I actually hadn't even seen before, like End of Oak Street.
Jason Statham fucking
the Jason
movie.
Statham,
Every time I see that, I just immediately think of Ben, dude.
Dude, I'm not watching that. I'm not watching another Jason Statham movie. I hit my limit with those, but and then once we got into it, I think that the wife was probably like Korean or something, because when they would like show just a random like location on screen, she'd be like, "Oh, that's this city," and she like knew the name of
Oh,
different
nice.
cities and locations and whatever.
Oh,
So
that's
they must
cool.
have been really into it. They also were a little vocal at a bit of a high volume level, but it's okay. So a unique theater experience, and yeah, I just like for me, it's one of those things. And I had the same conversation with people after John Wick Chapter 4 came out, because that movie's almost 3 hours long, and at the time there wasn't an immediate plan for like more John Wick films. There was plans for like spin-off movies, and so when people complained about the 3 hour length, I go and sit in that theater and I question them and say, why would you not want more John Wick? Because the same
Yeah.
people who will say that John Wick 4 is too long will also say that they want more John Wick movies. And it's like, that doesn't add up to me. Like people wanting just an individual succinct experience to be shorter, but then they want more of the same thing. It's like, well, just sit and enjoy the 3 hours that they gave you. So as an action guy, yeah, are the sequences very extended, super long sequences of action where like you are very aware at how long it's going on for? Yeah. But why would I want less of that when it's so well done? That's where I come from. And that's why, for me, this is such a great movie. Thank you for letting me get on my high horse. I feel better than I did. Obviously, I had a bit of a reaction because I'm not the biggest fan. But I understand that it's just a difference of opinions, a difference of personalities, and that's not going to change how much I love this movie.
That's fair. And I don't think.
What did Brandon think?
I think he was at 3.5. 3.5 stars. He was like, he's like, oh, I really liked it. Like he had some similar complaints to me, but he was like, he's like, I mean, I'd still give it 3.5, 4 stars. Like I think it's still a 4-star, 3.5-star movie. And I was like, oh. And he looked at me. He's like, what are you at? I was like, I'm at like 2 stars.
Oh my
he's
gosh,
like,
2.
Oh, I just
Okay.
started laughing. I was like, oh yeah, I'm at about 2 stars.
I was at a 3.5, but then the final 20-minute extended fight sequence took me up to a 4.
Yeah.
I do have to say, then the sequence right after that almost made me take it right back down.
When the dude walks away. No, are you talking about the very, very end? The bikes.
Like the fact that we went from like the peak of the peak, and then we just had to throw in another 5-minute scene after that.
Yeah.
That really annoyed me. We should have wrapped that all up during the big sequence, call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah, and I figured this discussion would be more of just differing opinions, not so much like we both watched the movie on a genre that we feel the same about, and I hated it, you loved it, we're fighting about why. I think it's just more so a differing tastes, difference of tastes, and that's fine. I can, if I put myself in your lens, I walked out and I was like, Ben's gonna absolutely love this movie. There's no way he didn't love this movie. So it's the most you movie that ever exists. That and
it
RRR.
Really is. Dude, RRR is also so. I mean, RRR is clearly better than this because of the the amazing character work and whatnot. But this is still I think so good. I think it's landed in my 4 spot for this year, which is crazy to say out loud.
Wow.
But yeah, right now I'll do a quick top 4. I know we're gonna do our recap here soon, but just so you can see where it lands. Project Hail Mary, Obsession, Backrooms, this movie. I still haven't seen Michael. That's probably the biggest one that I haven't seen. But Michael, and then like at some point I will check out Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, just because you've been on a high horse about it. So
yeah, that is my second favorite movie of the year. If I like it that much more on a rewatch, it could jump. But I would say if y'all could watch that before we do our end of the or midway, our midway of the year at the end of June. That would, because I'm just interested to see where it is placed for y'all. Interesting. I'm excited to do our end of the year. I think we'll have some pretty differing ones. I think we all kind of know what is making it where, just based on what we've talked about. But
dude, there's a good chance that this movie is in my top 10 at the end of the year. I'm just saying it. Like, do I think there's probably 4 or 5 movies that will end up above it? Obviously, like we're probably about to get 3 of them in the next month. Like we all know this.
Yeah.
But is that number 6 or 7 movies that'll be above this? I don't know if it is.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, looking in your lens, I could see that. I wasn't the biggest fan of this one. So that's our review of the Furious. Once you said you were nervous, I was like, oh, do I do it too?
I had a gut feeling. It's actually what I was saying to you before we started recording, where I was like,
yeah.
We got to get into this. I had a gut feeling that that's how it was gonna go. And so as we were about to talk about it, I was just getting very, very nervous. And turns out my feelings were correct. And Charlie, I don't want you to go watch this movie because I don't want you to break my heart. But once the movie comes out on digital, you should watch some of the fight scenes.
Yeah. I actually would love to see like what Charlie would think if he watched it.
Just because of the like story and characters being like very like straightforward, so we can just have a bunch of action. It won't be as much of his thing, but I think he would land probably somewhere in between you and I if I just had to take a random guess at it.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see that as well.
Oh man, well, what a fun review. That's been our review of The Furious. Well, that pretty much wraps up the episode. I mean, we could talk about like some Batman news has come out today. There was some Batman news in regards to Sebastian Stan and Brian Tyree Henry going back and forth on Harvey Dent, or if he's not playing Harvey Dent. Some Doomsday news has been coming out. We're gearing up towards a trailer. I know I could just feel it. Spider-Man.
We just have to have it by Spider-Man.
You think we have it by? Yeah. Well, yeah, because we talked about this with Comic-Con. If Spider-Man's getting a Hall H, because they actually just announced that yesterday, that Spider-Man will have a segment Hall H. I assume they're
probably just gonna play the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I assume
it literally comes out that week, so they'll probably or like the next week or something.
Yeah, and I think they will drop a trailer attached to it. That's a whole nother month and a half that they're gonna wait with this dang trailer, dude.
Hasn't it already been like 2 or 3 months?
Well, and you got to think they're gonna do something exclusive for Comic-Con, because like
new exclusive Doomsday trailer, and then they're gonna show the rest of the world the first one.
Yeah.
And then the second one will be
maybe a scene. They'll probably show them like a full-on scene from the movie.
The leaked footage.
Yeah.
That shit is not real, bro.
It's not real because they would.
You actually don't think it's real.
One, they would have taken it down, and 2, the people who saw the CinemaCon trailer said that it's not the same footage.
Yeah, dude, and they just don't do shots like that, bro. The opening, one of the shots is like he slams his hand down on the ground, and then there's a quick like close-up shot of his eye, of Doom's eyes, and that is not how they've never done shots like that. That screams AI.
This was somebody online taking advantage of all the Spider-Man leaks and just using that as like a leverage point to be just like, oh, there's a bunch of leaks happening. Let me post this Doomsday thing and claim it's real.
Yeah. What are the odds that we get some more just absolute behemoth leaks, whether it's Spider-Man or Doomsday, in the next couple of weeks? Like, do you think this trend keeps up? Because man, there have been some.
Do we think the whole Spider-Man movie's out there, bro?
No,
that's my question.
I don't know. I actually thought at first, and I sent that tweet thinking that they were talking about it, but it was just a trailer. But yeah, I'm surprised that got shut down so fast. Because
this is an old topic of conversation, but we might have talked. No, we wouldn't have, because it was No Way Home. But everybody was saying back in the day, oh yeah, Sony's leaking Andrew and Toby stuff on purpose because they want people to go see it. Brother, no, I never thought that ever. Sony has always had terrible security when it comes to their online stuff. Dude, their 2014 hack was fucking embarrassing. It was embarrassing for them, and it's part of the reason that Spider-Man is even in the MCU now. So like, I'm grateful for it for that reason. But Sony has always had terrible cybersecurity. I don't know why people thought that was intentional back in, just because it was like there's some 4K images that got leaked of Andrew. Like, okay, so what, buddy? So what, man? Sony sucks. Sony sucks at keeping their shit tight.
Hey, yo.
Whoa. How would you know, buddy?
Cause, bro, I'm a Sony pony, bro. I've been up in there. I've been up in there my whole life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I also agree. I don't think the full movie's out there. But I also
more. There's no way.
Yeah, I also don't think that Sony's doing anything on purpose. Now, whenever the first like leak happened, where they leaked the trailer, if it were to just stop there, I'd have been like, I could maybe see, some like, let's just click this button right here. But then they dropped the like promotion where it's Tom, Zendaya, and Sadie Sink and Jacob Batalon.
Yeah.
If I'm pronouncing his name correctly, just standing there promoting the movie. And I was like, whoa, they're leaking this, dude. And they're still not saying who Sadie Sink is playing. Like, I mean, I think it's 100%. It just has to be Gene at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
I've heard a rumor about that, but I won't go into it if you guys haven't heard anything.
What?
Because there's been some other details that have been coming out, just either between leaks, and then I think there was also some like early screenings or whatever, like test screenings or whatever. So,
I mean, Charlie, I don't know how you feel about it, but I wouldn't.
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to avoid as much of this movie as possible. So like,
it's not like they're saying she's a different character. It's more like there's a report of like how they specifically go about when they tell you that kind of thing. How much
I'm surprised you
I
looked
haven't
at
seen
this.
that.
You're like the most
I haven't
anti.
even seen.
I just saw something. I did watch the leaked trailer. I can't lie.
You watched the whole thing? You said you watched some parts of it, but you watched the whole thing?
I did watch the whole thing.
He said that at first, and then he kept saying things about the leak trailer. I was like, did he? I remember thinking, I was like, did he watch this?
It's hard at the time last week when I brought it up. It was hard to know if I watched the full trailer or not, because I don't like. There wasn't as many people, at least on my feed, there wasn't as many people who were just like, here's the full leaked trailer without the, markings or whatever that's making it harder to see. That just wasn't, there wasn't as easy of a version to find of that at the time. But since then, I have seen just like the cleanest, easy to view full trailer out there. So,
yeah.
And I stand by what I said last week, which is,
shot is crazy.
I am absolutely gonna want to go see this movie multiple times, and if it's good, I think it'll do very well.
Gosh, that Hulk shot is so fucking good.
Define that, Ben. Oh, man,
define very well.
Yeah, define very well.
You thinking like more than Toy Story?
No, hey, Aiden, I gave a range. If it does well, it will be on the high end of the range.
Okay.
I think I set my ceiling at 1.5, and I will stick by that personally.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I get it if Charlie wants to stay away from spoilers, but I'm surprised this is something that I hadn't even. I guess
I just saw. Yeah, I basically saw where they said like, here's how we find out, here's when we find, like,
interesting,
kind of explaining what is Sadie Sink's character's role in the film, because it's enough where she was in some of the promotional stuff, but yeah.
Huh.
I won't. Yeah,
Well,
I won't say anything more on that at this point.
Yeah, that's fine.
Normally I wouldn't care. Like that's why I watched like the supposed Doomsday League because like normally I'm tapped in, but I'm trying to be better.
Charlie and also Aiden, have you guys seen the new Odyssey trailer?
Yo,
that was
the one
attached
played
to
in front of
Disclosure Day.
Yeah.
oh
You
yeah,
did?
that was
Oh my gosh.
that was exhilarating, bro. Oh my
That-
god.
I think, and I said this to John because John's like, basically, he's always been on the train of like, he's way more excited for the Odyssey than for Dune because he's a big Nolan guy and I like Dune and Dune 2 more than he does. And so I watched Disclosure Day and he's out of town, so he didn't get to go see it with me, but I was texting him about the Odyssey trailer. I think this Odyssey trailer is better than the Dune trailer. Because previous Odyssey trailers were not. I think this one is.
I love the Dune trailer. I think I would also disagree, but I also would have to see that Odyssey trailer a couple more times in IMAX because that shit was, gosh, dude, that was so like, that filled me with emotions I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
Like
That
and the fact that it just says
minute,
in 5 weeks and it's just bang, bang. And you're like, oh, this shit is coming, bro. This shit is 5 weeks from now.
Body
Let's go.
chills for like the final minute of the trailer.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that take. I would disagree with it, but I'm not mad.
It's still
I like
very
the balls
close
on that. I like the balls on that take.
Because before I would have been like, oh, it's clearly Dune. But now this being a better Odyssey trailer, now it's like, it's much more of a conversation.
I actually want to talk about the Odyssey a little bit because it's a very hot point of contention with one of my coworkers specifically. He's clowning on this movie any chance he gets because I came to work and I immediately after watching Disclosure Day, he asked me how the movie was and I was like, well, it was good, it was decent, but there's an Odyssey trailer. I am so excited for that. And he's like, oh yeah, the Odyssey. I love it when my old Greek stories, they don't have any Greek accents and they say dad and daddy and not father or something like that. I'm like, all right, bro. What are we talking about, man? Well, it's a fake story. It is a fictional story. Why do we care so much, right? And then also he is upset with that there's black people in it as well. So like I just like, what are we talking about?
I mean,
man?
that's valid.
I knew you two were gonna say something.
So we agree. Like I don't. What's wrong?
He's upset. Like, oh yeah, a story about Greek people and there's black people in it. Yeah, it makes sense. All right, dude. Oh my goodness gracious.
Is he also? I say also. You're like 25.7%. Is he
25? Is like.
Is he also
40%? No, he's white. He's white as hell. He's white as hell.
So like he's just sitting there saying that, and you're like, "Hey, bro, what do you?"
He said, "My problem with the Odyssey, too many black people."
Yeah, that's crazy.
Dude, it's just the logic just doesn't track. It doesn't follow a straight track mind whatsoever. Like, and like that's like saying like we as Americans we can't make fictional stories about North Koreans or something like that. Like, what are we talking about? Like, that's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. And it sounds like one of those just stupid like anti-woke takes that just don't actually contribute anything to the conversation. This is the same one who thinks that Star Wars is dead and gone now, and the MCU is on its way out. So if that gives you some kind of barometer, but that is a prevailing. I bring it up. Wait, what'd you say?
Sorry, he's got a lot of great takes.
I bring it up because like
about race.
His talking points he gets from other people. It's not like he comes up with these. So like that's a prevailing like point of conversation about this movie. So like I guess just to I don't know gauge your guys's barometer on it as well. Like do you think this is has any meaningful weight on how it performs in the box office? Review bums maybe? What What are we thinking?
I do think reviews. I'd be scared. I'm not. I'm not really scared on the box office side, and I'm not even just saying that because I have it. I am a little nervous actually, not for these reasons, but for other reasons. But for the Rotten Tomatoes side of things, I feel like the Rotten Tomatoes score is a lot more. What's the word I'm looking for? Susceptible.
Susceptible.
Is a lot more prone to these bleeding into the reviews. You know, if we're looking at just the Rotten Tomatoes reviews and these issues, I do think they're more prone for that. The box office, not so much. I do think the box office, what I am scared of is accuracy towards the story. How does the story translate from the book onto the screen? Does Christopher Nolan do a good job at making an Odyssey movie? Is it accurate to what I know and love? I think that will affect the box office. I think that will also affect the scores, and then the other stuff will also affect the scores, not so much the box office.
Yeah, I think accuracy is a good point. I think that it matters a lot more in this movie compared to like Oppenheimer, mainly because I think a lot more people have consumed the literature regarding the story of the Odyssey. I mean, it's something that I read a version of the Odyssey in high school. Whereas like Oppenheimer, I went in like very fresh. I've never read American Prometheus or anything like that. But I think it'll be more important for this movie. But I don't really. I feel like as long as the movie is done well, kind of like Oppenheimer, and gets good reviews and whatever, I don't know that many people are going to sit there and be just like, no, I'm not going to buy a ticket because I heard something about how accurate this is compared to the book, and that's going to drive me away. It's like, well, if they see that it's getting raving reviews and very positive word of mouth, I think people are still going to go check it out anyways. And then for like the race stuff, if anybody genuinely is like, oh my gosh, there's a black character, and because of that, I'm going to not go see this movie. Like, I don't know that I've ever, if somebody genuinely said that, I wouldn't believe that they exist. I know that they do. Like, I know that there's people out there who actually think that way, but it's like, it doesn't feel like that should be like a real and normal thing that happens in our society and the world that we live in. So do I actually think it will deter many people?
I think that's not to play devil's advocate for these people who think this way, but you guys are talking about accuracy. I think that plays into it. Like, a lot of people will look at that and say that it's not accurate because there are black people in it. And so, like,
to an extent, like I can see why it's a bit of a thin line, and so I want to tread it very carefully. I have absolutely been on the side traditionally that changing the race of certain characters should not be done and is actually very important. And Disney has been a prime example of that in the past few years and whatever. But I think it has to do more with like more with the implications of it. So like for me, not to hate on my girl Rachel Zegler, done that plenty, but for them to cast her as Snow White when like a whole big piece of it is like Snow White is white as snow, like that's a part of the lore and whatever. And Rachel Zegler is there talking about how she's the first person of her ethnicity to be a Disney princess or whatever it may be. That to me, I think, is a really bad choice because it's kind of like spitting in the face of the character. Whereas I didn't care as much about like Ariel and the Little Mermaid, because specifically them being from, I mean, obviously there's some actual like mermaids are supposed to be from a certain descendants or whatever. I didn't think that mattered at all to the story. And so I didn't really care about that. Same with like Astrid and How to Train Your Dragon, the live action remake. They cast the character that was most like the personality of Astrid, even if it's not a white girl with blonde hair. That didn't take away from the movie at all because the backstory, the ethnicity, the descendants doesn't have significance on the character. So I think it just depends on like, do people really view that as important? Because like you're not going to cast this movie with everybody who's an actual descendant of the race
Yeah.
that they're supposed to be, the ethnicity they're supposed to be, whatever.
Yeah.
So does that really matter to many people versus can you just accept what you're given? And as long as it's portrayed in the right way that services the story, can it just work well like it has for some other projects where like I don't want to say like I wouldn't say that How to Train Your Dragon or Little Mermaid was an example of like a race swap as much as it was like let's just cast the person we want to cast in this role. That's how people need to view some of these things. Obviously, like in some instances, I will agree with that crowd that doing it specifically for the purpose of representation isn't always the best way to go about it.
Sure.
And
I
not
just
to
want
get
to
on the high horse about that whole thing, but I
wasn't
Well, and
even.
I think you have a like. I think you're. I don't think that's like a insane thing to say. Like I don't think it's
feel like it's
from where
pretty
you're
middle-
coming
middle
from.
grounded.
Yeah, it is very middle grounded. Yeah, you cut out for a little bit there, but
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
no, it is very middle grounded. I don't think it's insane. Like if you were to say that you just hated it all and you just everybody needed to be the race that they are in whatever type of media, like Reed Richards, he doesn't need to be a white man with black hair, you know,
Right.
and I think Pedro Pascal is perfect for him. We were casting John David Washington for him. And I think, but I'm not going to sit here and say Ryan Gosling for Black Panther, you know, like, and we were even like having to cast Jewish actors for Magneto, right? That was something that me and Charlie gave ourselves that line for or Jewish actors for Magneto and for Ben Grimm.
Ben, yeah.
So I don't think that's that crazy to say. Anyways, Charlie, I cut you off.
Well, I just want to clarify. I wasn't bringing it up to like have the conversation about like race swapping and whatnot. Just because you guys mentioned accuracy, and I so like with that tying into like the idea of putting black people in a traditional Greek story, combine that with the apparently they don't use Greek accents and they say things like dad and daddy or whatever Tom Holland calls Matt Damon. Do you think all of that is enough that is not accurate to deter enough people? Because that's why I'm asking.
I think it inherently doesn't deter people. I think the problem is that, like, from a social media perspective, if it gets enough like buzz and conversation where then like if people start asking the cast and crew about it in interviews, and if they're like, I think if it gets pushed too far, that then yes, some people will be turned away by it, which I think is like a big thing that happened with like the Snow White stuff. Like inherently, if Rachel Zegler said nothing, I think Snow White would have turned out very differently. And so I really think it depends on the social side of things, but then also the reaction from like Christopher Nolan and the whole cast and crew and whatever leading up to the movie. And I think if it just kind of like doesn't get brought up too much, or even if it's just about like the specific accents or whatever, and Chris Nolan just talks about accessibility and practicality of telling the story, whatever, if that's the case, I don't really see it having a big impact. And again, if anybody truly decides not to watch the movie for one of those reasons, they're just not a big movie fan in the first place. Like I don't really see it deterring a large group of people. It would be a very vocal minority, and who cares what they say anyways.
Speaking of which, this is why I asked this earlier. If the regular Odyssey tickets are on sale, I'm very interested to see what projections look like whenever those drop.
Yeah. When
I think
is
it'll
that?
have a
July
phenomenal
17th?
opening. Yeah, it's the 17th.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why are tickets not out for that?
Amazing.
Why are regular tickets not out for that yet? But Spider-Man tickets drop in 2 days.
I think
at the end of the month.
They're trying to. It's the Chris Nolan of it all. I think they're trying to fill as many IMAX seats as possible before even offering regular showings or
standard
anything.
format. Yeah, yeah.
Because like if people want to go see it, and like right now, if you're a casual viewer and it's like, oh yeah, I want to go see it opening weekend, your only options are to see it in IMAX. You're probably going to spend the money and go see it in IMAX and plan on that. And he's going to get as many butts in seats to go see it at the more premium, expensive format compared to if regular tickets were out. There's a lot of people who don't care as much.
Yeah.
But that's just
Yeah.
that's just a theory.
A film
theory. Well, I think that was some good discussion. I'm excited to see as the projections come out. I mean, we have a lot of stuff that we're waiting on. Toy Story, Spiderman, once tickets go on sale. Yes, our glorious IMAX legend, the Odyssey. So we got a lot of projections. We got a lot of projections to come out. I think this summer is going to be one of the greatest summers this podcast has ever experienced. So if you want to be around for it, be sure to like, comment, sub. As I said in the beginning, and as always stands, leave a comment down below. We'll break down anything that you want us to. We'll react to your hot takes. We'll say slurs. We'll hit some hard R's. We'll do whatever you want. If you're dropping comments, we'll do whatever.
Charlie, can you get your friend to come on the podcast and drop the hard R?
Which friend? The one the coworker?
Yeah.
He's not my friend.
Dang it, I almost got you.
No, you would need Will.
best
You would need Will
friend.
if you wanted that. If you wanted that, you would need Will. I feel like Will's dropped a couple in his day.
Probably has.
Leave a comment, like, sub, all that fun stuff. We'll read it out loud. Audio, send us a text message. You know the deal. And we'll see you in the next one. Adios.
Sayonara.
Peace.